weekend, Memorial Day holiday action. Get on that road and show what you know, baby. As we continue here on the Tim Brando Show, our many thanks to Mike Krzyzewski for joining us today, talking about his decision and Jerry Colangelo's decision to remain as the head coach of Team USA. We're so happy right now to talk to one of the all-time greats in basketball, Rick Barry. Rick has been he's been a frequent guest on our show through the years, and he's always been involved in a number of things. And frankly, this most recent venture on his part is something that's probably in the minds of a lot of people, including Coach K, or anybody that's ever been in a situation with a player that's had a foot injury or an ankle problem. It's a new shoe being put out by the Ectio company. And I wanted to talk with you about this, Rick, because I know you don't put your name alongside anything that you don't believe in. This Ectio shoe, it could be a real difference maker, right, in terms of limiting foot injuries, ankle particularly, right?
Oh, for sure. It's patented technology, actually, Tim. And again, it's always great to talk to you. And I'm so excited about what this shoe has to offer. If anybody's serious about playing basketball, the last thing you want to do is have an ankle injury. And this actually has been proven to prevent ankle injuries. The people who have been wearing it, independent testers, are raving about it. 40% of the people who were sending it back in said that they actually feel they have a better base and they're shooting the ball better, which is pretty amazing. But I know that I would be using this shoe and wearing it if I was playing today. I've tried it out. I'm out there campaigning. I'm trying to get somebody like Nike or Adidas or whatever, buy this company.
Yeah.
Just buy it, because
right.
Why would you not want to have the most technologically advanced shoe and the best shoe and the only shoe that can prevent an ankle sprain? Why would you not want to have that as one of your offerings to the public? And it would be unbelievable. They'd increase their market share because anybody serious about it should be wearing it. Steph Curry needs to be wearing it, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole career could be on the line. I saw him turn his ankle in the game against San Antonio, the first one at home. I was at that game, sitting right there with the owner, Joe Lacob, at half court. And I got to see what happened, and all he did was stop, and his shoe rolled.
Right.
That wouldn't happen with this shoe.
Yeah.
It would never have happened. So anyway, I highly recommend you can go to ektio.com. That's ektio.com. Check it out. If you're serious about the game, this is the shoe you should be wearing. And then you can go to my website, and there's a link to it as well, rickbarry24.com. And if you like fishing and you like to go with me up to Alaska or down to Mexico to do some fishing, because that's my new passion, you can go on a trip with me. All the information is there as well.
Great. Listen, it's a little bit like when you think about it, helmet companies looking at the better headgear that's out there. I agree with you. Whenever you've got that kind of technology, it's something that those that are producing either the helmet that's trying to protect a football player or the shoe that's trying to protect the basketball player is something they should look at. Matchups are something I always dig talking to you about. And now here we are in a situation where Memphis is, I think, giving San Antonio all they want. And from a matchup standpoint, it appears with the size and maybe the depth of the front line of Indiana, they could actually push this Miami Heat team a little bit. But the way they lost the other night, Rick, when you lose a game like that, I'm curious where you think their mindset is right now and the kind of lingering residue that might have on these Pacers here.
Well, certainly it's a devastating type of a loss. I mean, they gave the game away, literally. Just a silly play. And I mean, nobody talked about the secondary aspect of it. The first thing is I felt sorry for George, who made that great three-point shot to send it to overtime and hit the 3 free throws to give him the lead. Nobody talked about the fact that West missed 2 free throws to start the overtime, which could have still given them the victory.
Yeah.
But nobody talked about the weak side defense. It was a total breakdown, not just on his part, on George's part. Where the heck was the weak side? With the ball over there on the other side of the court, the weak side guy should have been all the way into the paint to protect the basket, because if somebody throws a long pass from out of bounds cross court, you have plenty of time to go out and challenge it. Yeah. And if they're going to beat you, you want them to beat you with an outside shot anyway. You don't even have to worry about denying the ball. I don't know what George was thinking about playing them that aggressively. Hey, let him come out and get the ball. He's running away from the basket. What's he going to do in 2.2 seconds?
Yeah.
He did the absolute worst thing you can do, and if you're going to overplay and do that, you always have to be between the ball and your man.
Right.
So, but the weak side, if the weak side was there, somebody would have stepped in. LeBron would have had to just throw up a shot. He never would have gotten to the basket, and they probably would have won the game. It was really tragic, but they need to do what Golden State did, because Golden State did the same thing in game number 1 in San Antonio, if you remember.
Right.
They blew the game, gave it away at the same time. They had the game. Ginobili hits the shot because why? Defensively, two guys go to one guy, leave Ginobili wide open. He hits the shot to beat him. So they responded and came back and still dominated game number 2.
Right.
I think because of their size and the way that they play the game, they're a good defensive team. They're going to give Miami a battle. I said that to begin with. I think that the Pacers are going to play Miami tougher than people realize.
Yeah.
Now, do I mean that they're going to beat them? Hey, they were up 2-1 last year and wound up losing the series. But this loss really hurts. That means you got to find a way to beat them now 5 times instead of 4.
Yeah. Were you where did you come down on Hibbert not being in the game at that stage?
I thought it was a bad mistake. I think Reggie hit it, and so did Steve Kerr.
Right.
To take him out of the game, I mean, it was silly. And what happened? Both times he went out, what did they get? 2 layups.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense because the whole key to playing team defense is to make a team beat you from the perimeter. Mm-hmm. And so Miami, give them credit. That guy's not there, and it was LeBron both times. What did he do? Go to the basket. Of course, go to the basket. You don't have a 7'2" guy in there who can block shots, impeding your progress, and so they took full advantage of that. I don't know what he was thinking and why he thought he needed to match up with people. Hey, if they want to go and throw it to somebody outside to take a shot, fine, let them do it.
Rick Barry, in my estimation, is probably not only as good at breaking down what happens from a matchup standpoint at the end of games, but he also will not mince words with regard to decisions that are being made by coaches, and sometimes that's hurt you a little bit. But I love it about you. I do. I'm curious, Rick. Popovich, to me, is the real deal. I've always thought he was the real deal as a coach. Is he undervalued in the conversation about great coaches in the history of the game? Is Popovich overlooked a little bit? Yeah,
I think so, and you're absolutely right. And I'll give you a perfect example because I was so incredibly impressed. If you realize he gets done with a 6-game series against a team that plays a totally different style of game than the Grizzlies play. I'm talking about the Warriors. And he has an exceptionally short turnaround before he plays game 1. Mm-hmm. And he got his team with the defensive strategy to literally take the inside game, and especially Zach Randolph, out of play. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, that's coaching. That's coaching and knowing what you wanted to do, getting your players to do it. They totally negated Zach. He was so frustrated in game 1. Now, along with it, I'm probably sure that he was very, very upset about the fact that an experienced team blew a 20-point lead and almost, got in trouble. Only got down to 6, and so they won game 1. And then they blow an 18-point lead, and they blow a lead of 7 points with a minute to go.
Yeah.
To go to overtime. So they were very fortunate, but I know that didn't sit well with Pop, and I'm surprised with the veteran team to allow that to happen is really almost inexcusable. So they got real lucky in game number 2 that they didn't screw that one up and lose it.
All right. I've got one college basketball question for you, Rick. And by the way, don't you have your youngest about to start playing? Is that right?
Yeah, he was a redshirt this year down at the College of Charleston, and he'll be starting this fall. I'm really going to be excited.
Oh, man. I'll be seeing you on airplanes along the eastern seaboard just like I did when your other guys were playing in the ACC and at Kansas. That's great. Well, I have to ask you this question. A lot of talk about what needs to be done to enable offense to come back into the college game. Now, let's just disregard the one-and-done situation and understand that the level of player is not what it used to be, and we get that and we move on. The idea of freeing up cutters in the lane and all of that, I think, is something that needs to be addressed at the college level. Officiating, first and foremost, has got to be, I think, a little bit more kind to the offensive player. They're getting fouled. The fouls are going uncalled, and it's making for horrible shooting percentages and low-scoring games. But there are some that believe that maybe going the way of the NBA with the clock or even the international rule with the clock would be a substantial move in a positive direction. What do you think?
30-second clock.
Okay.
They really do need to have a 30-second clock.
Okay.
And the other thing that they need to do, I think, is to take away the ridiculous rule of 5 seconds. The 5-second rule, what the hell difference does it make if the guy's not doing something with 5 seconds? Put a 30-second clock in. They're just going to be screwing themselves up if they stand there with the ball. Right. What is that 5 second? I'll tell you what it's forcing to do. It's making a lot of times more one-on-one basketball.
Uh-huh.
Because if you can't hold on to the ball and let a play develop and let something happen, let a guy run off for 2 or 3 screens, it takes a little while for that to happen, for a play to develop, some things to take place. And if you have to be doing something within 5 seconds, that now all of a sudden you got to put the ball on the floor. If you're dribbling, you certainly can't make a pass. I hate that rule. I don't know who came up with that rule. It's the worst thing ever for basketball.
That's Rick Barry, ladies and gentlemen. Again, our many thanks to you. Have a great Memorial Day holiday, Rick. Best to you and your family. And remember, folks, to find out more about this brand new, highly technologically advanced shoe, go to Ectio.com, the Ectio company. Rick, thanks.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
You got it. That's Rick Barry. We come back with your calls to wrap it up. We're hopeful to hear from you right now. Caller friendly at 888-573-5335.